What up YouTube? Today we'll be installing the Tuttio shift lock. It's super cheap and easy and we're going to show you how to do it. This project was super easy and cheap and this cost us under 10 bucks. So what we have is a 3 8" pegs, bolts, spacers, threaded rod, Allen key, adjustable wrench, pliers, and sandpaper.
All right, first thing you want to do is make sure this peg fits on the threaded rod. I don't know if these things are some cheap Chinese junk, but basically when we tried to initially put this peg on, it would not go on here. So we had to basically strip these threads. So we did a 2-person operation. He was holding the threaded rod with some pliers, and I took the adjustable wrench and just gave this thing a million turns, all right? So essentially, I'm just turning this thing, the peg on this threaded rod, and I'm stripping the threads, creating the correct threads. So basically, once I got it on here, I don't know, maybe 50 turns, it started going freely, okay? During this process, right, we're creating some sharp metal shavings inside this peg since we are creating new threads. So we took a paper towel and kind of cleaned this up to get all the sharp shavings out. And also on this threaded rod where we were holding it with the pliers, we had to take a piece of sandpaper and basically file down all the sharp stuff, okay? If for some reason you're still having a problem, you can spray WD-40 on here, some lube, or spit on it, and basically get that peg to basically go on this threaded rod a little bit easier. So now that we know these fit on the rod, let's show you how to get it on the bike. All right, this is a bonus step, you don't need to do it, but we did it. Basically on this threaded rod, we measured 2.5 inches on both ends and marked it with a Sharpie. That way when we put it on the bike, it's dead center and basically both sides have the equal amount of length, okay? Also, we're gonna spray these washers and nuts with a ultra matte paint primer spray paint. So that way there's no silvery stuff down here. We're keeping that all black look. All right, we gotta get this threaded rod behind the skid plate. We got 2 bolts on top. Using your 4mm Allen key, just unscrew them and they come out. Now there's 2 ways on how to do this. Option number 1, hopefully you're lucky, you can just kind of wiggle this skid plate back, keeping this threaded rod kind of in this groove up top, all right? And then just tighten the bolts. We couldn't do that, so we had to go option number 2, which is the same thing, removing those 2 bolts, and then loosening on the bottom with the same 4mm Allen key. There is 3 bolts, 1, 2, and a 3. All right, by doing that, by loosening it up, it just kind of, the skid plate slides off. And now, because that threaded rod creates kind of like a different angle for the bolt pattern, we're basically just taking our skid plate, all right, with the bottom, this is the bottom right here, and I'm kind of just stepping on it and then pushing down to create kind of like a better angle. Don't do this too hard, but basically I'm just creating a better angle so when it goes back on, it's actually flush with the bolts. I'm also, with a pair of pliers, I took the top of the skid plate and I kind of just pulled them backwards or forwards to kind of create a nice flush lip. So basically the fitment is perfect. You know, I don't have to worry about this thing somehow popping off and the basically the shift lock coming out. So by doing that, it fit way better, and I'd recommend doing this method. All right, so skid plate is all bent up good as it's gonna get. Taking our threaded rod, I got my new painted nut and washers. I'm doing 2 washers down to that 2.5 inch mark. This top skid plate bolt behind the all the wires is just barely on there. This one's off, all right? So it gives me a nice gap right here to get this thing in, all right? So now I'm just gonna slide this bad boy through, all right? And now on this side is when I'm gonna add my other washer and nut, wherever that is, and then my pegs, and then basically use my adjustable wrench to get it nice and tight. If I'm doing a single, that's for a double shift lock. If I'm doing a single, same thing. I got my 8-inch hex bolt. I just got basically the top of the bolt in the washer, going to the top, sliding it through. All right, washer, nut, and then putting my peg on and obviously tightening the 2 top bolts, all right? All right, if for some reason you're still having trouble getting these bolts to line up, just loosen the bottom 3 bolts. By loosening the bottom 3, you can change your angle and basically get them to line right up. And then at the end, just hold that skid plate in and then just retighten those 3 bolts. And hopefully that helps. All right, we're all tightened up. Let's thread these pegs on. All right, hand tight. Got a pair of pliers over here. My adjustable wrench over here. Get on there nice and tight. This ain't going nowhere. When your foot's locked in, it's pulling all the pressure back towards the bike. That thing ain't going nowhere. You could always add thread locker in this as well if you wanted it nice and tight, but this is good. I mean, this thing is rock solid, it ain't going nowhere.
That's how you install a shift lock on a Tuttio. Hope this video helped you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.
Later.